All right, let's just jump right in. When I say the last book of the Bible, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of people, it's the book of Revelation, right? The Bible's crazy, kind of confusing, and honestly pretty terrifying grand finale. But what if I told you there's a totally different way to look at it? I mean, the book just hits you with this incredible wall of sound and feeling right from the start. It's this whirlwind of really powerful, clashing ideas. You've got it all: angels, dragons, prophecies, plagues. It's an experience of vision and song, doom and deliverance, terror and triumph, all at once. And let's be real, it's a lot. It's overwhelming. This rush of color and sound, this sheer force of imagery and energy, it can just leave you feeling completely dizzy. So if you've ever picked it up, tried to read it, and just felt lost, you're not alone. Believe me, it's kind of designed to be this powerful, all-in, full sensory experience. But this is where it gets interesting. Here's the big question that could change everything. What if our obsession with trying to predict the end of the world has made us, miss the entire point? What if we've been reading it all wrong? To figure that out, we've got to meet the author. And you can forget that picture of some mystical hermit who's totally fixated on the future. The source material asks us to see him as John of Patmos, a real-life leader with a very present and very urgent concern for his people. And this is what's so cool. These little details totally ground this cosmic book in the real world. So John was a pastor way back in the late 1st century. He was looking after a whole group of churches. And he got this incredible vision while he was at worship on a Sunday. And everything he saw, everything he ended up writing down, was driven by this one single massive concern he had for his flock.
So, what was that one big thing? What was his main concern? This right here is the key that unlocks the entire book. And I'm going to bet it's not what you're expecting. It has nothing to do with decoding some secret timeline of future events. Nope. It's about something way more immediate and way more foundational to our lives.
The key is worship. Yup, that's it. Revelation is first and foremost a book about worship. It's all about how the act of worship literally builds and shapes a community, creating a society that's tuned in and responding to God. And for John, the stakes could not have been higher. He really saw that when true worship is forgotten or ignored or twisted, the result is just a complete disaster. Communities either crumble into chaos from the inside or, they fall under the boot of tyranny from the outside. So getting worship right wasn't just a good idea, it was a matter of survival. Now, this whole pastoral concern, it doesn't just exist in a bubble. John knew that trying to practice this kind of community-shaping worship was going to be incredibly hard because it's happening in a world that is, frankly, hostile to it. And this right here, this sets up the central conflict of the entire book. You can really see that struggle laid out here. On one side, you've got the whole point of worship, to build a healthy community, to prevent that chaos and tyranny. But on the other side, you've got a world that's actively hostile to it, where the conditions are, as the source puts it, decidedly uncongenial. All that intense, fiery, battling imagery in Revelation, it's a picture of this massive spiritual war over the act of worship. And listen, this wasn't just some abstract philosophical idea for them. For the very first people reading Revelation, this was life and death. The source makes it crystal clear. Some Christians were literally being killed just for gathering to worship. That context, wow, it changes how you read every single word. So yeah, Revelation is tough. It's demanding, no doubt about it. But if we can push through that initial fog of confusion, especially now that we're armed with this key of worship, the source promises a really profound reward. We actually get to move from confusion to a totally new kind of clarity. The source kind of lays out a roadmap for the reader. It starts with just sticking with it, persistence. Then, as you keep going, you start to pick up on the book's poetic rhythms. And after that, you start to see all the connections, how everything weaves together. And finally, you go from being just an observer, a spectator, to being a participant in this incredible grand vision of worship. It really helps to remember that John isn't just a pastor, he's a poet. He's not trying to be confusing just for the sake of it. He's using every single literary tool he has, metaphor, symbol, allusion, the whole shebang, to do something incredibly ambitious, to pull back the curtain and bring his readers right into the very presence of God. So what's the ultimate payoff for going on this journey with John? It's not about cracking some secret code about the future. The real reward is that our own worship, Our own connection to God and to our community will be totally transformed. It's going to deepen in both its urgency and its joy.
So we'll end on this. If John's entire point is true, that the act of worship is what really fundamentally shapes the human community, well, that leaves us with a pretty powerful question, doesn't it? One for our own lives right now. Just look around at your community, your culture, even just your own daily habits. What is it exactly that you're worshiping? And how is it shaping you?